I'm having my coffee late this morning. Hi. So, I wanted to talk about energy. And I just posted a screenshot from the app that I use to see what moon we're in called Deluxe Moon. And I wrote about the energy. So I thought about, making a video so that I could explain what's going on and how my program shows me to monitor the moon and what transmissions we get so we can actually gauge what energy we're receiving. And it also it makes me go back to that JP Morgan quote that said, millionaires don't need astrologers, billionaires do, right? Because if we understand what energy flow we're in and how the activations are, we're able to set an intent. And one of the things that I do is I decided, well, I didn't decide, I was told in my mind to start journaling how I feel each day based on what moon we're in or what star system. Because each zodiac sign, there's 12 in the sky, which are always there. They never seem to change, right? That is the gateway to a universe. And when the moon, which is a satellite, is stationed in that zodiac sign, we're receiving that transmission from that galaxy. And so, when we're able to follow the moon cycles to see what transmission we're receiving from that zodiac sign, it activates us to be able to tell how we're feeling mentally, to be able to tell how we're feeling physically, and then of course what activations there are. And I received this download to start monitoring this months ago, but it's increasing more because the activations, the energy levels that I feel from each system is getting more and more intense for me. And so I am able to really gauge, I'm a Cancer, and Cancer energy is very strong, and it doesn't feel that great to me. It is interesting. And Aquarius feels so amazing, so amazing. And I know that if I'm feeling this energy, I know everyone else is. And just because I seem to have been activated at a really high level or whatever this is to feel it, I'm able to transmit that energy explanation to everyone else. It seems to be what part of my program is. So I take that very seriously because I see how it affects. I'm really super highly in tune to the physical feelings that I feel and how it affects me mentally. So every day when I make posts about energy, that's what I'm explaining to you because that's part of my program. I see that that's part of the mission, what I'm supposed to do. And so it's all for healing purposes also. I mean, we're in Capricorn, we were just in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is really intense, but it feels good. It feels real magically. All my chakras were, and then today it shifted and I was like, oh man, I could just tell I was not feeling great. And then all of a sudden my mind was like, go look at the Deluxe Moon app and see what moon we're in. Because I knew we were about to come out of Sagittarius, and we did. We're now in Capricorn. And Capricorn always has been an energy that just doesn't feel super great to me. And also the huge thing to remember is in the moons that we're in, or in the signs that we're in, that you feel super strong activations. And if the next day you drop off and your serotonin levels are down because you're not activating, so you're not really feeling that great in the mind, that may be a moon that is not very active for you energetically. And that's what happened. Sagittarius was very, very, very high energy. I was feeling like, wow. And then today my activations are not the same. I can feel that my brain is much more quiet. So that's why I call them quiet days. But when the brain is not that active, the day after a shift, that means that the energy frequency isn't as high. So the neurotransmitters aren't working as strong to produce, heightened levels of serotonin and dopamine. I mean, it really gets down to the medical science of the human. So when we study neurology and the way that the brain works, And whenever we realize that we're energetic beings and we're able to focus on the moon transitions, those two match up 100%. And part of my program is to see that. And I've been studying neurology and energy for months now on my own, which is very interesting, during these activations. So, healing is a huge deal when we focus on just healing the mind. And so today, because this Capricorn energy does not feel really great to me, I recognize that it's just a quiet day. And I was having a pretty rough morning. I mean, I was out walking around and then I made breakfast and I was just like quiet. And also I can tell that we're being pulled into the new moon. I'm feeling that energy. I'm purging, meaning I'm crying for no reason, like there's no thought processes behind it. And there's a lot of different ways that humans purge energy, by the way, while we're talking about it. Humans cry and laugh due to emotional thoughts, right, that we have. But it's actually a biological, energetic release of the human vessel. And so that's why sometimes when we receive certain energies or certain pulls of purges of cleansing based on the moon cycles, we can laugh without a trigger. And we can cry without a trigger because it's an energy release. And when we recognize that our bodies are so attached to our thoughts and our emotions, which is the feeling of energy, energetic pulls of vision, we're able to like chill out a little bit and recognize that we can actually take control of our mental flow to the energy that we have no control over. So it's important to merge with those two entities, ourselves and the astral, so that this humanistic experience becomes something that is healthy. And then this also allows us not to project onto other people. On days like this, when it's really quiet, my brain gets like this, I know just to get internalized, I keep it, light so that I don't project that lower brain frequency onto someone else because it's not who I normally am. And so I recognize that that's energy also. And so, it's really easy to start to gauge. So I highly recommend downloading a moon cycle app to your phone or watching it online. I use Deluxe Moon, which is really wonderful. And you can check it out. You can really start to see, record your energy based on what sign we're actually in. And you can tell what feels good. Like for me, my natal chart is, I'm a Cancer, so I'm a moon child. So I'm super sensitive to the moon anyway. And then my moon is in Scorpio and my rising is in Gemini. So I know that when I'm in Scorpio moon, that's going to be a strong moon for me also. And so and by the way, you can Google natal chart, and you can, there's tons of links where you can go in and put in your information, and then they'll tell you everything about your sign, and it's really cool. And so knowing this information helps us to align. And so I know that when I'm in Scorpio, it's going to be intense. And then also something that I've learned is I'll go and read about the characteristics of each sign, and that gives me a sign of what the energy is going to be. So like Pisces, that's a very magical, intuitive wisdom sign. So I know that that's going to be a magic swirl in the pull of the portal energy of manifestation. So when we know what sign does what, we can recognize, oh, we're in Pisces. We need to do these couple days. I mean, it really is like a majestic science. It's cool. And so being able to figure this out and see these signs, it really changes everything. And so, I not only do I suggest downloading the app, but I also suggest keeping a journal like I just recently started to do. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that information other than I believe it helps to program so that I can remember. Because I don't remember how I feel in every sign until I'm in it, because I haven't been making like mental notes of each sign that I'm in. But I know which ones feel really good and I know which ones don't. That's for sure. And so, yeah, give that a whirl and see how that does. And it's amazing that just by taking it to some cool magical level, you get to purge, you get to understand yourself better, you get to understand others better, because you begin to see how you feel based on the moon signals, and everyone else is feeling that too. So when I walk around, I'm like, oh, they're feeling that, that whatever energy we're in, whatever sign we're in, because I already know. Just like when it's a full moon, people, things get a little crazy, sometimes there's a little bit of a shift, and it's because it really pulls on the mind, like really strong. That's why at the ocean, when there's a full moon, the water's pulled back, there's a big tide. Well, our body's made of like 70% water. So what do you think it does to our brains? Like, it's all energy. It's all energy. And what the new moon does for me is about 3 days before a new moon, I'll have these moments of crying for no reason. And it's been a while since I've had it, and today I've done it a couple of times. So I know that we're starting to get into it. And like I said, it's Aquarius, which is my favorite energy. And so even though this Capricorn energy doesn't feel great, it gives me so much joy to look forward to the Aquarius energy. So it's like a positive thing, It's like it helps us to realize that this is just part of the ascension process, and to let go and not hold on and take things so seriously, even when it's hard, because it does get hard sometimes. But we just have to, we will be reminded. We don't really have to think about it. I love you to the moon, family. Have a great day.